Hi and welcome to UTR News. I'm Tetjana Mahno. How satisfied are Ukrainians with their local authorities? Not so much, according to a new study by the Higher School of Professional Politics Foundation. 60% are less than happy with the performance of their regional and city administrations. The loudest criticism comes from the Kharkiv region and from the capital. The issues respondents are most concerned about are the quality of roads, public services, and the cost of utility and housing fees. Our correspondents have the details.
The number of citizens unsatisfied by local authorities' work substantially exceeds the satisfied ones, 60% against 38%. Experts mark the lesser respondents' incomes, the more discontented with local authorities' activities they are. The elderly are the most active critics. Analysts know that most Ukrainians are not aware of the legitimate basis of elections.
Almost two-thirds, 60.4% of the polled ones, are not acquainted with the new law on elections to the local councils. Partly familiarized with this law, 28.7%. 10.9% answered that they are aware of the main provisions of the law. And as for the amendments to the legislation, they received the following appraisal. Reductions of the election in terms from 90 to 50 days are supported by 65.8% of the polled. In other words, people want the campaign to be shorter in terms.
55% of the respondents support mixed-party majoritarian electoral system against 18% of its opponents. Most Ukrainians also support an open party list voting. The people want to know by face those who they give their votes for, experts say. At present, 70% of the respondents are ready to come to the voting precincts. Western region is more active than the rest. In eastern Ukraine, most citizens support the pro-government party of regions. In western, the opposition party of ex-premier Yulia Tymoshenko, Batkivshina, and central Ukraine gives its preference to Serhiy Gibko's party Strong Ukraine. Tetjana Machno and Romanov, Evgen Stepanov, UTR News.
2011 will be the year Ukraine makes its leap into the future. At the initiative of President Yanukovych, the year will be Information Society themed. On its path to developed information society, Ukraine needs investments, new technologies, and accessible education. On the eve of the new school year, the Education Ministry presented its plan for the development of a Ukrainian information society. The technical and professional education sector will start the reform process. Minister for Science and Education Dmytro Tabachnik took the first step and presented a development agenda termed till 2015.
There are 991 vocational technical schools that prepare workers for all economy branches in 35 professions in Ukraine. 410,000 people study there. Concerning school students, the Education Ministry improved the education system by revising content of educational process, namely state standards of work in professions and modular estimation system were introduced to qualify workers of service industry. Field Ministry plans to develop criteria to estimate work of vocational technical schools.
The program consists of 5 blocks: vocational, professional, psychological pedagogical, social humanitarian and control estimation blocks. From January to July 2010, over 1,000 teachers from vocational technical schools have upgraded their professional skills.
30–40% of graduates of vocational technical schools have to get their requalification, Minister noted. As this sphere of education still has a great number of problems, it does not correspond with modern technological production, has small demand on the labor market, poor financing and no economic independence of this kind of educational institutions.
For example, now vocational technical college is not allowed to transfer money from one item to another, to spend their revenues for schools development and bonuses for teachers.
It is planned to improve financial situation with the support of enterprisers. They will be widely involved to cooperate with vocational technical schools as they are interested in highly qualified workers.
A range of cooperation with these enterprises includes elaboration of curriculum, introduction of modern technologies into educational process, creation of innovative centers system. Now there are 64 such centers, as well as attraction of investments into vocational technical schools.
Not long ago, Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine presented a web portal, Vocational Technical Education. The Ministry views the realization of the twinning program that foresees synchronization of vocational education with the European Union norms as a real step to the European integration of Ukraine. Olga Stopchuk, Denis Zepsin, Igor Kurkodim, UTR News.
A new publication connects the dots between Ukraine, our European neighbors, and the international community. Entitled Ukraine, Europe, World, Humanitarian Aspects of Development, the book highlights the main issues that surface in Ukraine's relations with a global society. Diplomats, academics, politicians took part in the presentation, as well as our correspondents.
Over 300 pages of the Ukraine, Europe, World, Humanitarian Aspects of Development edition are telling us about international humanitarian and cultural connections, activities of the embassies and foreign representative offices in Ukraine, as well as diplomatic activities of our country abroad. The edition was released in 3 languages, Ukrainian, Russian and English. Specialists are emphasizing that this book reveals important priorities and identifies ways of the European integration for Ukraine.
33% of Ukrainian population is national minorities. It is very important to create an information base. With its help, people could get a better understanding of what Europe is and what relations there are between Ukraine and Europe.
The wide panorama of humanitarian and cultural international connections, as it is showed in the book, will help to understand integration of the nationalities better. The book clearly shows the strengthening of interstate bonds and formation of Ukraine as a strong democratic European country due to cooperation with other countries in sphere of science, tourism and others.
Authors of the edition are convinced that such project will positively influence international relations, spread positive image of Ukraine and popularize our language and culture all over the world.
There is only one world, and it is small. We are living in this world. Our cultures are different and unique. Each country is special. We all complement each other and will preserve this world for the future generations.
The more projects of this kind there are, the better we will know each other. We will learn from each other. We will like each other. We will treasure and respect each other.
Project leaders are planning to make Ukraine, Europe, World Herald annual and traditional. Alena Makina, Yulia Voyna, Evgeny Stepanov, UTR News.
Last year, Ukraine's strongmen united in an independent legal entity with their own professional sports league. At its head, champion of many tournaments and Ukrainian icon Vasyl Verestyuk. In 2010, the league initiated several competitions, both at the national and international level. This spring, European strongmen competed with their Ukrainian counterparts in the city of Trускavets. They may compete for titles, but one dream unites strongmen of all nationalities. They want sports to dominate the lives of youth, not computer games or drugs.
These athletes came to the League of Strongmen from different kinds of sport, but they have common goal to attract a young generation to go in for sports. Amateurs have opportunity to demonstrate their strengths at the tournament People's Athletes that will be held yearly.
We will hold such tournaments every year. Now, even a TV project People's Athlete appeared. We do hope that young people will turn to physical culture and sport.
A contest for the title of the strongest man in Ukraine will take place under the support of the Beach Volleyball Federation this weekend in Kyiv Hydro Park on the Dnipro river bank at the Youth Beach.
It was announced about tournament People's Athlete among amateurs at the beginning of the year. Athletes who won first 6 places at this tournament became professional sportsmen, and now they will participate together with professionals in the tournament to win the title of Ukraine's strongest man.
No one can doubt its positive influence on sports and human body, but only few people are ready to support it financially. So strongmen travel to places of competitions and accommodate guest athletes at their own cost or through friendly ties. They say their organization is not a commercial institution, but they do not refuse from sponsors' donations.
Our professional league has no state support and financing. All sponsors of our tournaments are our personal acquaintances and friends.
Ольга Остапчукіна, Зазаніна, Сергій Холопов, UTR News.
And that was it for Thursday. Please join us again tomorrow. Stay passionate about Ukraine and stay with UTR.